Okay.
Okay, Solanki Sahib, I just got a call from Debjyoti saying that it is not live on YouTube. It is custom live streaming that is apparently different from live streaming. आप muted हैं या?
Sir, live हो गया है.
You said live तो हो गया है ना? Because it shows live from my side.
No, but
और यहाँ पे आ गया है YouTube live में.
हो गया, I got the confirmation.
Yeah, okay, because this is something Ratna Kumar and Shil Kumar know how to do this.
Correct, yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so it is 9:30. So Solanki Sahib, you want to take over the proceedings here?
I think it is 9:30. No, just we will wait for a couple of minutes because there are still people joining. Will you take care of admitting now?
Did you have people in the waiting room here?
No, so there we have admitted.
Are you doing any kind of check or you just admitting whoever is?
No, sir. There is something like who we know. A link is shared with staff members and evaluators, the teachers.
No, I know, but when the name shows up in the
so I know roughly staff member कौन है क्या है. Maybe what I will do is I will also make Jondade to co-host, so he can also admit people. Jondade, is that okay? Staff members from GMRT.
See, staff members, our own staff, we all know it's not a problem.
No, but others
that somebody has to say that are you admitting them or not.
Nilesh will tell, and then we will do. No problem, sir.
Okay, so whoever I see who's staff, I'm just admitting, huh?
Right, sir. Okay.
Good morning, Yashwant.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
All right. How are you doing?
Well, fine. Busy yesterday whole day.
Yeah, and I guess today must also be busy, as the day goes on.
I have another talk to deliver at around 11:30.
Yeah. So there's one Mr. Mayur Gunjal and Mr. Rakib who's there in the waiting room. And does anybody know about
So
him?
we have to check with Nilesh ji. Are you aware of them? Who is Mr. Mayur Gunjal and Rakib?
No, sir.
Rakib must be one of the TIFR students. He is with the outreach.
Okay.
Okay.
And Mayur Gunjal, anybody knows him?
Okay, my computer thing has started. So I will switch off the mobile phone and use the computer.
But did you get entry?
Yeah, I have got the entry. Yeah, you can look, you can see I am seen much better than that.
No, but we can see. Okay.
You
now,
can see two people. So
So,
I will
okay.
remove the mobile phone then.
Okay. All right. You're coming in as in place of Mr. Rakib now.
Okay. I know why. Because Rakib has been using this computer for
That's
a
right.
while.
Okay.
so you can change your name, sir.
I think I should rename myself.
Yes.
If possible, yeah.
Let me just check if I can rename myself.
Yes, thank you.
Or Divya, can you help me renaming myself?
Okay. So
Let me try here.
I don't think host can do that. Only,
No, I can do that.
I don't think so. Yeah, you can. All right. I'll just rename it.
Just rename, Surendra Kulkarni. It's done. Yeah.
Okay. There is one Kundil Kwalunj. Who's Kundil Kwalunj?
Jondade, is he from Khoda?
No, I don't know because DV was also.
Sir, I think she is our evaluator, Valens madam.
Okay.
And then
Right.
Gunjar madam also will be there in that case.
Yeah, so I think they're all in now. Maybe we can start.
Only thing is, Ratna Kumar, why I can't see in your this list,
Sir,
participant list?
You click on participants, it will show you that.
No, but I made him co-host. He has logged out actually. Fine. So now because I made him co-host, because he can then share the screens and all those things. Okay. So now it is 9:35. Should we start?
Yes, I think we should start.
sir, 1 second, sir. Screen sharing is not coming up.
Did you share the screen?
No, sir, it's not coming up. It's not showing.
No. So what happened?
The co-host, it's not showing. It's not clicking, sir.
I can see you as co-host, Ratna Kumar. Yeah.
And Divjyoti has sent message that they are already on Outreach Facebook page live.
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Great.
It's not working.
So Ratna Kumar, is there any issue now? Is it solved or no?
Okay, advanced sharing option. Who can share only host?
Can you test immediately?
No, sir, it's not coming up.
Okay, we still have a few minutes before we will require that screen share. Right here. So maybe we can start, and that will give him some time to figure out as well. Yeah.
Working, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Professor Gupta, can we start then?
Yeah, I think we can start.
Okay. So good morning, everybody. Those who are, hello?
Yes, we can hear you fine. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So good morning, everybody. Those who are joined via Zoom link and via YouTube viewers, and happy National Science Day. I, on behalf of NCRA GMRT, welcome for this unique program, which is GMRT Virtual Science Day 2022. Friends, GMRT Science Day has been a very biggest event in the country, and we have been celebrating this for last 20 years. And this is our actually 21st year of celebrations. When we were doing physically, there was a tremendous response from schools, colleges, not only from Junnar Ambegaon Taluka, but from various places in Maharashtra. And I remember we also had a participation from once in Vadodara, Gujarat, and Indore, Madhya Pradesh. But because of this COVID pandemic, really we should be actually from the science point of view, and thanks to the technology that our reach is enhanced, and now because of that we are able to reach out much more than what we used to do. So that is where we said that our normal boundaries of outreach have been extended, and we can say very proudly that we are now having a presence almost very major states in the country. Friends, last year our virtual science day was viewed by 55,000 people, which is again the great support from science lovers and visitors, how the GMRT Science Day is getting the likeness from various people in the country. Similarly, because of this new technology that we used with the help of Indian Institute of Knowledge developed by Mr. Nilesh Shedvalkar. So because of that mobile app, we are able to pass on our messages, information, and required details to various schools in the country. So this year also, with the help of Indian Institute of Knowledge and the same app that has been developed by IIK, Mr. Nilesh Shadwalkar and his group, and with the able guidance from our center and also Science Day Committee, GMRT Science Day Committee, we hope that this year also we will be doing wonderful jobs. So in the introduction part, I can just say that what we have now in our GMRT Virtual Science Day today, and just give you an outline of program which I have already shared with my staff members, but those who have joined on YouTube and from others, let me just tell you, sir, after my introductory part, Professor Divya will talk about the outreach activities that NCRA GMRT has been doing consistently and continuously. After his information, our center director, Professor Yashwant Gupta, will welcome this function by giving his welcome address too. After that, our today's chief guest, Shri Surendra Kulkarni, who is well-known, of course, in GMRT Science Day, but outside GMRT in TIFR Mumbai and various schools, colleges, not only in Maharashtra, in various places in India. So he is our chief guest today, and he will be delivering his inaugural talk. After his inaugural talk, we will request him to formally online inaugurate this event. The moment this inaugural message is given by Shri Surendra Kulkarni, our website hosting this exhibition will be open to all general public. And this website will contain three things. So you can take a tour of GMRT and various systems of GMRT. Then our faculty, students, and all these things have done lot of research. And so in their academic sections, you will find lot of posters, videos about astronomy, general astronomy, radio astronomy, results out of GMRT, various other results, and all these things. For this, our students from PhD students from NCRA, PDFs and faculties have taken efforts to develop this. And I think these posters will give you a throughout kind of a tour of explaining how research at NCRA is happening. And then there is actually the uniqueness of this, our GMRT Virtual Science Day, that along with GMRT NCRA activities, we definitely involve a lot of schools and colleges. And I'm proud to say this year, more than 8 schools and colleges from not only Maharashtra, in addition to Maharashtra, there are 7-8 states who have participated. And I'm happy to say that we have something around 592, that is close to 600 projects have been submitted successfully. They will be available for all of you to see. Interestingly, out of this 600 projects, 500 projects are from primary school and high school level students. And that is where we say that GMRT Virtual Science Day is unique in this, because more than 600 projects demonstrated by 650 students is the uniqueness of this project. And you will be able to see this after this inaugural event. Once the inaugural event is over, how do you see this exhibition? What are the other features that you want? The Indian Institute of Knowledge proprietor and Mr. Nilesh Shadwalkar will take through you how you can see this exhibition, all these things. After that, we do have a feedback by one of our students, Divesh will talk, and then we will have feedback from couple of teachers who evaluated our Science Day last time. They will also express this feedback. And then we have vote of thanks by Shri Abhijit Jondade, my colleague from NCRA GMRT. With this, I'm just again welcoming you all, and I'm just handing over to Professor Divya to take over further and enlighten people about science outreach activities at NCRA GMRT. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Solanki ji. Yeah, and I join him and everybody else in welcoming all of you to National Science Day 2022. Thanks a lot for joining us today, both on Zoom and on YouTube Live. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. So, like Solanki Saab has already said, the GMRT Science Day is our flagship outreach program. In addition to this, we also conduct many other outreach programs, though at a smaller scale. So members from our organization, they give many talks in schools and colleges around us. And we also conduct stargazing sessions, which are usually followed by some talks about astronomy in the local schools and colleges, especially in the rural areas around Maharashtra, around sorry, GMRT. And if you are in the vicinity of GMRT or Pune, then with prior arrangement, students can also come and visit our telescope facility in Khodad. We are close to Narayangaon, roughly halfway between Pune and Nasik. But rather than just going over the list of what we do, I thought it would be better for me to share with this audience why an institute like NCRA should spend its time and energy and resources in doing science outreach, right? So one of our motivations is really to share the exciting work which we do with the young students, right? And also the general public, because most of what we read in our newspapers and popular media about science comes from outside India, right? Despite the fact that a very large amount of interesting work is actually done in India, we have sort of don't have the tradition of sharing the science which we do with general public and the youth and the students. And that is something which we are trying to change. Then we also, all of our programs are designed to try to excite curiosity in the minds of young students about science in general and about astronomy in particular. And where that comes from is that the way we are taught science in schools, we are taught about science in sort of past tense. It was done long time ago, something which is static, which does not change. It does not even give a hint of the fact that there are many things which we still don't understand. There are many open questions in science. In every single discipline of science, there are many open questions, right? So in reality, science is always changing. It's ever evolving. And as you learn, you realize the mistakes you had been making earlier and you correct them, and then you open the doors for learning even more. So that is something which we want you, the young audience, to be aware of, and that is why learning by doing something on your own is a very good way of making that clear. We also want to share with you the fact that there are really exciting opportunities which will be available to students like yours in the field of scientific research, right? India as a country is right now investing very heavily to the tunes of thousands of crores in astronomy alone in the coming few years. And all of this is to make sure essentially that India is an active partner in some of the scientifically most exciting, most valuable projects underway anywhere in the world, right? So as you think of career possibilities for your own self, we want you to also think of scientific research. And of course, our focus is on astronomy. So we want you to think about astronomy as well as you think of what career choice do you want to pursue. And you will find some information about that in some of the posters which we have also put up. And in addition to all of these things, I want to emphasize that science has an important place even outside your textbook and curriculum and your careers and so on. You know, a basic understanding of scientific principles helps you understand the world around, right? It provides you a logical framework, a rational way of thinking. Even in your daily lives, it helps you find the best solution to whatever is it that you're trying to do. It stops you from being gullible. It makes it harder for others to convince you of things which are incorrect. It helps you figure out things on your own. So I think, and even our constitution says that it is our duty to sort of encourage scientific temper in our entire population. So we also want to play our role in doing that. So these are all the various reasons why we as an institution put in so much effort towards scientific outreach. And I think with that, I'll stop and I will pass the stage to Professor Yashwant Gupta, our director, for his formal welcome address.
Thank you so much, Divya. On behalf of NCRA, a very warm welcome to all the participants today, those who are with us on the Zoom platform, as well as those who are watching the live stream on YouTube. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you and to this very interesting science exhibition. You've already heard, I mean, although we are primarily a research organization focusing on trying to do cutting edge research in radio astrophysics. You've already heard from Divya Oberoi about why we should be doing science outreach and carrying out some of these activities. And so I will not belabor that. And I'm sure my good friend Surendra Kulkarni will tell you a few more good reasons why we should be doing this. And so we had started the annual Science Day program at the GMRT with this aim in mind. And as my colleague Solanki explained, we've been running this as the flagship program for 20 years. And over the years, it has grown up to be a major attraction in terms of science outreach in the country. And so much so that we all of NCRA would look forward very eagerly to the 2 days that we set aside for the Science Day program at the GMRT. And we would really, there was an air of enthusiasm and interest that the event always generated, which was very well matched with the kind of response that we got from the people who came, be it the schools or the colleges and even research institutes that were interested enough to come and set up stall on Science Day so that they can disseminate information about what they do. So it really was becoming a focal hub for dissemination of information in science, and both for the youngsters as well as for the professionals. And so when the pandemic hit, we got really upset that what is it that we would do now, because that kind of large gathering where we used to have the order of 10,000 people coming into the GMRT campus in each of the 2 days was clearly out of the question. And that's when, as our job is to do research and to innovate, and that's what happened in this case also. There was some brainstorming, and thanks to our colleague, Mr. Nilesh Chadavelkar, we struck up this idea of doing this in a novel way, leveraging the fact that almost everybody, including students, are nowadays keyed into the digital world. And almost anything that you do, if you can do it via a smartphone or a computer, you're likely to have as big an impact as you would do in any in-person activity almost. And so that's where this idea was born. And it was, with some, I have to admit that we were a bit concerned about how it would turn out when we did it last year. And it was really very gratifying to see how well it worked. You can see that by visiting the webpage that we have for last year's event. And so it was great that when we could get together again with our Growing Dots in Indian Institute of Knowledge colleagues to be able to set it up for this year also. And the plan was definitely to have it on a bigger scale, which I think has happened in terms of the kind of features that we are offering in this year. And you will see that once the exhibition is opened. And the reach of this is quite amazing. And this has really opened our eyes and shown us that there is a complementary way of reaching out, very much in tune with today's world. And we are looking forward to, even when the pandemic goes away and allows us to gather in person, I'm sure that this component of the Science Day activities will continue. We'll have to find how to synergize it with the in-person activities that we normally have. But I'm sure there will be some more innovation as to how to synergize these two to get the best. So, and finally, in order to trigger an event like this, the opening, we need somebody who can just, transfer that excitement and the magic of science. And in that sense, one could not think of too many people better than my old colleagues, Surendra Kulkarni from TIFR, to actually do the honors. And so we're very happy that at a relatively short notice, he agreed to grace this occasion. And I really look forward. Normally he was there with us in every Science Day with his on-hands experiments, doing them. I don't know whether he's planned something like that today in his inaugural address to show us some magic, but we'll see. And but overall, I think this will be a Science Day event and an exhibition that follows it over the next several weeks, which will be better than what we did last year and pointing us in a direction of growth for future as far as science outreach is concerned. So thank you again to all of you for joining, and I'll hand it back to Divya and Solanki.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, because of your encouraging support from all the years, we have been able to do this and reaching various parts of the country. Now, at the same time, I would be happy to let you know that many schools are live streaming YouTube to various schools programs and all these things. And to mention, there are so many, in Ranjini area, Pandrinath Mahavidyalaya, then International School at Pachgani, they're all playing live YouTube for their school children. Friends, now let us welcome Shri Surendra Kulkarni, our colleague, and very instrumental in science outreach and science communication. And he doesn't require any introduction if you attend any kind of science exhibitions, Skywatch programs, and all that thing. So I think we should give him more time. So we welcome Shri Surendra Kulkarni to deliver first his inaugural talk, and then after the talk is over, we'll formally request him to inaugurate this Science Day event. So over to you, Sri Surendra Kulkarni sir.
Thank you, Mr. Solanki. I wish to thank Divya Oberoi and Yashan Gupta and the entire team for considering me for eligible to talk to you people, share my thoughts on it. Very good morning, friends, and a very exciting National Science Day. Almost everyone will talk about the importance of the day, that on this day, February 28, in the year 1928, Nobel laureate late Dr. Chandrasekhara Venkataramana discovered that light beam is deflected by molecules, resulting into changing the wavelength of the light beam. Later, this effect came to be known as Raman effect. But I'm not going to dwell too much upon it, certainly not more than necessary. This does not mean that I have no respect for this great person and his achievements. On the contrary, I take this opportunity to pay my respect to all those who contributed to the developments in the fields of science before and after him. If you pause and if you look around, you will observe the achievements of the generations before us. Today, we are what we are because we are standing on their shoulders. For a moment, let us review the creation, existence of great monuments, structures, the rich heritage, be in material form or otherwise. The art forms, the celestial navigation based on stars and constellations, textile, metalworking, even the food and its variety across the length and breadth of the subcontinent that we call our country, India. The richness did not come all by itself. The observant and analytical mind of our predecessors, and of course the industrious nature, only the industrious nature, I repeat, could result in the longevity of such endeavors. Do you think that these would have lasted for several centuries? Some since a few millennia, without proper knowledge, understanding of the materials used in such structures, monuments, and other intangible cultures. Do you ever think that the great physician and surgeon, Shushruth, would have contributed to the field of medical science without any observations or conclusions thereupon? Answer to these and several similar questions is a big no. So, despite all such contributions, the country, till a few decades back, was taunted by the remaining world as bullock cart riding nation. The logically thinking society was reduced to lackluster heap, not wanting to explore beyond their immediate needs. Jugaad. This innovation solved the immediate needs of the person, but somehow could not be translated into usable technology by larger populace. Somewhere, there was unpardonable neglect by all the stakeholders, which resulted into a general stagnation and falling behind in the knowledge race by a considerable margin. The central government, since long, have focused to develop, encourage, mentor the innovative nature of the common man and channelize The only nation which in its constitution, which has already been mentioned by Divya, has an Article 15A, Section H, which states that developing, improving scientific temper is a fundamental duty of every citizen. So what is science? Is it just another subject to be taught in the schools? Is it a reserved domain of few elites? Can it be confined to the textbooks? If yes, is it possible to accommodate every single aspect in all the volumes published till date and in future? Will it be possible to declare that we have arrived at the final frontiers in respect to science and stop there? My dear friends, the human race is capable of much more than this, and this is possible due to just one aspect of the human nature: inquisitive nature, the insatiable thirst, need to explore the nature surrounding and unraveling its mysteries. This search has resulted in multi-pronged process of science, which in turn improved the techniques, which eased the human life a little more. The newly found techniques were again harnessed to search for new things. Further discoveries, findings, enabled technological developments which fueled the research and taking science a few more notches higher. This cycle keeps repeating all the time and will repeat in future, and the human right will improve slowly and slowly, but certainly in a right direction. Let us focus now for time being on the current Indian context. Is it essential to change the poor image of our country from a net importer of technology and goods, not for the sake of others, but for ourselves? We have to our record many discoverers, inventors, technocrats in the ancient and medieval period. I'll just take one example. We all know Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak as a freedom fighter, but not many, other than the fields of astrophysics and astronomy, know that he was a Jyoti Shastrajna. He was looking at the tiny lights coming from the skies, and many more of this kind. Their contribution have been forgotten, neglected, and for the time being may be set aside. But what about the post-independence era? Now, for a moment, for argument's sake, let us take into account the era beginning the 19th century. The subcontinent has produced gems in the field of science, technology, mathematics, and engineering. The policymakers, governments, rulers have consistently tried to design and implement well-meaning schemes. But we, the members of the society, have a larger responsibility of turning these schemes in grand success. Let us look at the approach of the society towards the current scenario. We all have been finding one excuse or another. Avoid taking responsibility. I'm not playing a blame game. I'm a part of it. At least now, we as individuals, society, and a nation need to take this wake-up call. We are celebrating our Platinum Jubilee of Independence, Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. We all need to pledge to ourselves to bring about the change in this scenario. What are possible pathways to achieve this goal? How can we contribute? Let me also make a very audacious statement. We really need to make sincere efforts to teach science rather than decide how children will learn science. When I make this statement, I do not undermine the individual capacity of a person or even suggest an entire class has to be matched with any individual capacity or vice versa. In a group or a team, just like in a cricket team or in a game of hockey or football, every person, every player has his own capabilities, strengths. No doubt, we should give equal opportunity to everybody and do justice to all. A few decades back, we started this Sarva Samaveshak Shikshan. But to ignore a fast learner and to bind the individual to slow pace is crime, unpardonable crime. It just doesn't curb the urge to learn more, but douse the fire in the belly, and sometimes permanently. This may not be possible in highly regimented education system. This very regimentation, which is essential, necessitates this kind of festivals of science to bring out the latent talent which otherwise may not be tapped. Can this be remedied at an individual level? What will help? individual conviction, parental guidance, not limited to biological parents, but teachers and role models certainly help. They do help. I know from my own example. I wish to quote Dr. C.V. Raman, and I quote, "Ask a right question and nature will open the doors to her secrets," unquote. No question ever asked is a stupid question. On the contrary, a question not asked is the most stupid question. Science is all about asking questions. Most often in science, questions are and in that order. Why? This is just to know the cause or the reason. How? The process of method, conditions apply, and they always. Any walk of life, conditions will apply. So why science is different? When? Timing plays a very crucial role. Put a seed in appropriate location, and it shall never fail your expectation at a right time, right condition, and perfect causes and reasons. It will give rewards, results. Very rarely in science, we need to pose a question who will relate very easily to other I would say humanities. I wish to encourage other asking these questions and never be satisfied with a simple no or some unexpected answer. Counter such unexpected answer with determination, another question, a question to follow that, and arrive at a satisfying reply. There is always a possibility that seemingly right explanation at that moment may not stand the rigor of reason or time, and a re-examination is essential. The quest for correct understanding should never be corrected. At a mentor level, the mentors should always rather strive to examine the idea proposed in realistic various terms, ability to grasp the concepts, understanding the underlying principles, phenomenology, capability to implement the project in material world. Encourage the student or the group of students to take up challenges with implementation and interfere only in presence of blockage or hurdles which cannot be overcome by the student or the group. I strongly believe that clay or paper models should be actively discouraged. Similarly, Google or internet research is acceptable to the extent of understanding various aspects, but cut and paste rephrasing is certainly not. At institution level, many institutes have activated their otherwise highly motivated, extremely busy researchers into several events on various occasions. Why? These organizations are funded by public money. The public pays taxes and the government redirects its public funds towards running these organizations. Hence, cannot afford to ignore the needs of the society. After all, the manpower for their future endeavors will come from the same society. Another aspect is that the idea of enabling a common man is most noble. Here, I shall quote Ramdas Swamiji, a very famous saint from Maharashtra. जे आपणासी ठावे ते इतरांशी शिकवावे. शहाणे करून सोडावे सकळ जना. Without any disrespect to this great saint, I wish to alter the last phrase as, and quote, जे आपणासी ठावे ते इतरांशी शिकवावे, शहाणे करून धरावे सकळ जना. Loosely translated, it means whatever knowledge you have should be shared, taught to others, enlighten them. I've changed one single word, sodave to dharave, to imply that share your knowledge and hold on to them for societal benefits because they are your future soldiers. I have to admit that NCRA GMRT team realized this long time ago, more than several. The scientists, engineers started visiting local schools, supplement the understanding of the regular activities and studies. This also had added benefit to allay the fears of the local community, reduce the apprehension what happens beyond the double wired fence. It was not before long that the NCRA and GMRT team realized fruits of their efforts and decided to encourage students to participate in discussions and project building. These baby steps soon turned to strides, and today this event is single largest event involving students from grassroots level. We have IIT festivals, Tech Fest, or various other ISER organizations do something or the other on their Foundation Day and National Science Day. But NCRA and GMRT realized this long time ago. I'm repeating that involving students from grassroots levels was very difficult to conceive and then implement. I wish their entire team that this endeavor grows in leaps and bounds and spreads across all similar research organizations across the country. This year, the theme of the National Science Day is very, very apt. It is integrated approach in science and technology for sustainable future. We have seen that extensive use of fertilizers and denuding the forests have resulted in soil erosion and several other calamities. Humans have taken the nature for granted, which results into, or rather, even resulting and will result in very catastrophic events, not just for the humans, but to the flora and fauna who coexist on this earth. The nature is inherited from earlier generations, and we are all ethically bound to pass it over to our next generation in a better condition. I don't think we humans have been doing it right since last few centuries. The technological advances should be nature friendly, possibly reverse the deterioration caused in earlier times. Let us pledge today that we shall endeavor to hand over this natural heritage in better condition than we received it from our immediate predecessors. I learned from the information provided by the organizations and the web pages that there are record number of 592 projects, 776 participants, and 300 plus schools, not just from the neighboring areas, but from all over the country. As admitted earlier, I once again wish to applaud the consistent efforts by NCRA GMRT to encourage, mentor a large number of students. I also wish that all participants will keep up their efforts in understanding the correct concepts, unraveling the secrets, and develop techniques for a sustainable future as desired by the theme of this year's National Science Day. I wish everyone a great success in any endeavor they may embark. I take this opportunity to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts with you. I wish to end here with a hope to meet you face to face once this pandemic is over or reduced to an acceptable level as other diseases. As requested earlier, I wish to declare this virtual fabulous competition and exhibition open to any knowledge seeker. Thank you once again for patient hearing. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Kulkarni sir, for very appreciating and encouraging words, and also about the science need of science outreach and scientific development in the country. Now I'm just asking Ratna Kumar, are we ready? Ratna Kumar.
Yes, yes.
So can you just take to the inaugural screen, and then as declared by Sri Surendra Kulkarni, we just start the exhibition, play this couple of videos and posters and a project, and then after that we come back to the Indian Institute of Knowledge, Mr. Nilesh Chadwalkar, so that he will also like to share the screen. But before that, we formally inaugurate our Science Day website, Virtual Science Day. So I request Ratna Kumar to first start the exhibition as requested by Sri Surendra Kulkarni. Meanwhile, we have teachers joined, students and everything joined. After this, we will go to them after Nilesh Chadwalkar's talk. Ratna Kumar, so please. So now, friends, now just the momentum has already begun. Now 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. This is the site, and then we are taking to this website. Will be available for all of you for almost next 2 to 3 weeks. Sound, Ratna Kumar.
Yeah.
Ratna Kumar, audio is not there. Ratna Kumar, is it because that you are muted?
Yeah, no audio still. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it gives a feel for what the exhibition looks like.
I think yes.
And we could move on.
Okay, so Ratna Kumar, if you can stop sharing the screen. Yes, and then I now, friends, let us welcome Mr. Nilesh Shervilkar, who is actually the person behind this idea. During the pandemic, which we got a big opportunity to enhance our science day activities was possible only because of the app developed, the encouraging support given by this thing, then the idea given to us, and we both together, NCRA, GMRT and Indian Institute of Knowledge came forward, and it has been a successful idea. So I request Nilesh Shadwilkar, Indian Institute of Knowledge, to guide us about this GMRT Virtual Science Day exhibition overview and how people can see our exhibition and what is expected from our school and college students. नीलेश जी, और दूसरी बात है कि बिफोर यू स्टार्ट आई जस्ट वांट टू, बहुत सारे लोगों को ये होगा कि इस बार हम लोग लास्ट टाइम मराठी में किया था, ठीक है, लेकिन आपको भी पता है कि अभी ये नेशनल इवेंट है, बहुत सारे बाहर से लोग भी हम अपना प्रोग्राम, हमारा प्रोग्राम देख रहे हैं, उनको ज्यादातर बहुत सारे कमेंट्स हमें लास्ट मिले थे कि आप ठीक है मराठी में कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हमें समझ में आए, इसीलिए आप अगर इंग्लिश और हिंदी का प्रयोग करते शुरू में तो अच्छा होगा, इसीलिए वो जानकारी के लिए हम हिंदी और अंग्रेजी भाषा का यूज कर रहे हैं, तो कृपया इसे गलत मत समझना। थैंक यू।
ओके, सोलंकी सर, धन्यवाद। आज के इस साइंस डे के जो एग्जीबिशन हो रहा है, नेशनल लेवल का जो एग्जीबिशन हो रहा है, उसमें मैं आज के जो हमारे प्रमुख अतिथि हैं श्री सुरेंद्र कुलकर्णी सर, उनका मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं। फिर गुप्ता सर, दिव्या ओबराय सर और बाकी सब गणमान्य अतिथियों का भी मैं स्वागत करता हूं। और जो आज जो बच्चे या स्टूडेंट्स लाइव ये प्रोग्राम पूरा देख रहे हैं, जो उनके गाइड टीचर्स है, पार्टिसिपेंट्स है, जिन्होंने पूरा मेहनत करके ये एग्जीबिशन को सक्सेसफुल किया है। पूरे भारत भर से 592 प्रोजेक्ट्स आए हैं। ये प्रोजेक्ट करना आसान चीज नहीं होती। सबसे तो पहले थीम उसको डिसाइड करना होता है, फिर उसका अच्छे से वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग करना होता है, स्क्रिप्ट बनाना होता है और फिर उसको अपलोड करना होता है। उसमें भी बहुत सारा टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टीज होता है, फिर भी सभी स्टूडेंट्स ने ये बहुत अच्छे से काम किया और इस इवेंट को एक बड़ा इवेंट बनाया। इसलिए मैं आप सभी को धन्यवाद भी देता हूँ और आपके सभी को मैं बधाई भी देना चाहता हूँ। ये जैसे दिव्या सर ने बोला और सोलंकी सर ने बोला कि ये 21वां साल है साइंस एग्जीबिशन का, तो ये बहुत ही बड़ा जो इवेंट है जो जीएमआरटी ने शुरू किया है और मुझे बहुत खुशी है और हमारी पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बड़ी खुशी है कि हम ये वेल नोन और जीएमआरटी पूरा वर्ल्ड में फेमस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जो ये पृथ्वी की बात नहीं करते, ये पृथ्वी के बाहर की बात करते हैं, जो बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है और सभी को अच्छा लगता है। और ये पूरे वर्ल्ड नोन एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट, रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ हम इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ नॉलेज का एक गठबंधन हुआ और इससे ये एक अच्छा प्रोग्राम हम लोग डिलीवर करें, इसका हमें बहुत ही बड़ा गर्व है। आज के में मेरे टॉक में खासकर जो एग्जीबिशन अभी शुरू हो गया है, जो वेबसाइट पे भी है और जो ग्रोइंग डॉट्स मोबाइल ऐप है उस पे भी हम लोग उसको देख पाएंगे, उसको इवेल्युएट कर पाएंगे। तो उसका मैं अभी आपको एक लाइव डेमो देने वाला हूं। तो सोलंकी सर, कृपया आप मेरी स्क्रीन शेयर हो सके, इसलिए मुझे राइट्स दीजिए सर। धन्यवाद। आपको स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही होगी मेरी मोबाइल की, दिख रही है ना?
बिल्कुल, हाँ।
ओके ओके। तो जैसे हम ग्रोइंग डॉट्स GMRT ग्रोइंग डॉट्स ऐप पे जाते हैं तो वहां पे कॉम्पिटिशन्स, एक्टिविटीज और इवेंट सेक्शन में सबसे पहला जो सेक्शन है वो GMRT साइंस डे 2022 का सेक्शन है। आप सभी को उस पर क्लिक करना है। उसमें क्लिक करने के बाद यहाँ पे अलग अलग मेनू ऑप्शन है, जैसे अबाउट GMRT, जो एग्जीबिशन हुआ है उसकी पूरी गाइडलाइंस यहाँ पे दी हुई है। और जो थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट आइकन है वो है एग्जीबिशन। अभी हम लोग उस पर क्लिक करेंगे। उस पर क्लिक करने के बाद यहाँ पे ये पूरा एग्जीबिशन 5 ग्रुप्स में ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया था, जिसमें स्टूडेंट्स ने पार्टिसिपेट किया। जो फर्स्ट ग्रुप है वो 5th स्टैंडर्ड से लेके 7th स्टैंडर्ड तक का है। सेकंड ग्रुप 8th स्टैंडर्ड से लेके 10 स्टैंडर्ड तक का है। ग्रुप 3 11th और 12th एंड IIT स्टूडेंट्स के लिए था। और ग्रुप 4 BSc BCS और डिप्लोमा स्टूडेंट्स के लिए था। और जो 5th ग्रुप है वो जो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट यानी BE ME और MSc के जो स्टूडेंट्स है उनके लिए था। तो आपको वहां पे ग्रुप सिलेक्ट करना है। ग्रुप सिलेक्ट करने के बाद उस कैटेगरी में जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स ने पार्टिसिपेट किया है उनके सबके वहां पे लिस्टिंग आ जाती है। एक पेज पे हम लोगों को 10 वीडियोस दिखते हैं। और यहाँ पे आगे पीछे जाने के लिए हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे यानी 28 पेजेस में से अभी ये फर्स्ट पेज दिख रहा है। आप यहाँ पे पेज नंबर पे क्लिक करके भी आप उसको पूरा देख सकते हैं। किसी भी वीडियो को देखने के लिए आपको या किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट की पूरी जानकारी लेने के लिए आपको वहां पे नीचे व्यू एंड इवेल्युएट करके एक बटन दिया गया है, आपको उस पर क्लिक करना है। उस पर क्लिक करने के बाद उसका प्रोजेक्ट नंबर, टाइटल, उसका इमेज, फिर उसको कितने व्यूज हो गए हैं, वो कौन से ग्रुप का है, किस स्टूडेंट्स ने किस स्कूल से उसको पार्टिसिपेट किया है, प्रोजेक्ट का नाम, फिर प्रोजेक्ट की कंसेप्ट, उसमें क्या क्या उस स्टूडेंट्स ने मटेरियल यूज किया है, सोसाइटी बेनिफिट क्या है, ये पूरा वहां पे इंफॉर्मेशन जो स्टूडेंट्स ने फिलअप किया है वो आपको दिख जाएगा। इससे आपको प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में भी पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगा। और यहाँ पे एक कवर इमेज दिखाई दे रहा है, उसको अगर हम लोग टच करते हैं तो ये जो पूरा प्रोजेक्ट का जो वीडियो है वो आप देख पाएंगे। ऐसे अलग अलग वीडियोज आप देख पाएंगे, प्रोजेक्ट के वीडियो आप देख पाएंगे। मैं आपको और 2-3 चीजें इससे जोड़ के कहना चाहूंगा। आज बहुत सारे लोग ये पूरा ऑनलाइन सेशन देखेंगे, बाद में भी इसको जैसे ही स्कूल खत्म होंगे उसके बाद भी स्टूडेंट्स इसको देखेंगे। तो मेरी आपसे सभी से एक विनंती मैं आप सबसे करना चाहता हूँ कि अभी 592 स्टूडेंट्स ने ये पूरे प्रोजेक्ट यहाँ पे सबमिट किए हैं। उन्होंने बहुत सारे एफर्ट्स लेके ये साइंटिफिक अलग अलग जो सोच है वो यहाँ पे उन्होंने दिखाई है अपनी। तो मैं आपकी सभी से विनंती करता हूँ कि आप आपके स्कूल्स के स्टूडेंट्स को ये दिखाइए एग्जीबिशन। ओके, इससे क्या होगा कि जिस मिशन हेतु से यानी जिस विजन से ये GMRT ने शुरू किया है, इसमें 2 प्रमुख बातें सभी लोगों ने बताई, मैं फिर से उसको दोहराना चाहूंगा। जो प्रमुख बात ये कि सोसाइटी में वैज्ञानिक सोच हम लोग किस तरीके से बढ़ाना चाहेंगे, ओके, बढ़ा पाएंगे। तो ये करने के लिए ये दिखाना बहुत जरूरी है। और दूसरा, विज्ञान की जो अलग अलग संकल्पनाएं हैं उसको भी हम लोग बच्चों में किस तरीके से उसको पेनिट्रेट कर पाए, ये भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है, जिससे ये एग्जीबिशन एक अच्छा रोल प्ले करेगा। और आपको मैं फिर से कहूंगा कि ये आपके बच्चों को ये दिखाइए और उसको नीचे ये एक नया कंसेप्ट हम लोगों ने लास्ट ईयर इंट्रोड्यूस किया था। इससे सबसे बड़ी तो बात क्या है कि ये पूरा वीडियो देखेंगे, देखने के बाद अभी पहला क्वेश्चन क्या है कि रेड द प्रोजेक्ट कंसेप्ट। जो आपने वीडियो देखा और जो स्टूडेंट ने जो वीडियो यहाँ पे डाला हुआ है वो वीडियो आपको उसका जो कंसेप्ट है, उसका जो क्रिएटिविटी, उसका जो इनोवेशन है वो आपको किस तरीके से लगा, और आप इसको 5 स्टार में से रेट कर सकते हैं। जैसे अभी मैं एज ए सैंपल इसको अभी 5 स्टार दिए मैंने। सेकंड क्वेश्चन आता है इसमें कि स्टूडेंट प्रेजेंटेशन, जो भी स्टूडेंट ने उसका जो वीडियो बनाया उसका प्रेजेंटेशन किस तरीके से किया है, उसका लैंग्वेज किस तरीके से था, उसने जो मेन पार्ट उसने वहां पे दिखाया है, जो कंसेप्ट वो हम लोगों को सबको दिखाना चाहता है वो सही से डिलीवर हुआ है या नहीं हुआ है, आप उसको इवेल्युएट करिए और उसको उस तरीके से आप खुद भी उसको रेट करिए। फिर तीसरा जो क्वेश्चन है वो है रेट द टेक्निकल स्किल एंड नॉलेज। जो इस प्रोजेक्ट में जो स्टूडेंट उसका जो साइंस एक्सपेरिमेंट दिखा रहा है उसके बारे में उसका टेक्निकल नॉलेज आपको किस तरीके से लग रहा है, या फिर उसका जो कंसेप्ट वो सबको दिखाना चाहता है उसके बारे में उसका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल किस तरीके से, क्या कंसेप्ट वो दिखाना चाहता है, और उसका स्किल और उसका नॉलेज किस तरीके से, इसको आप रेट करिए। मैं इसको फिर से एक बार दोहराना चाहूंगा कि जब हम लोग ये पूरा स्टूडेंट्स को करने को बोलेंगे तो उससे ना बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स हम लोगों को मिलने वाले हैं। सबसे जो पहला बेनिफिट है वो ऐसा है कि जो अलग अलग स्टूडेंट्स ने जो प्रोजेक्ट्स यहाँ पे अपलोड किए हुए हैं वो आपके स्कूल के स्टूडेंट्स देखेंगे और उनसे उनको अलग अलग वैज्ञानिक जो सोच है और जो वैज्ञानिक अलग अलग जो कंसेप्ट है या जो प्रोजेक्ट्स उनके जो अप्लाइड प्रोजेक्ट्स है उसके बारे में आपके स्टूडेंट्स को मालूमात होगी या उनको वो समझ में आएंगे। दूसरा एक जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है कि इस साल आपके स्टूडेंट्स ने अगर इसमें पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया है तो बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स होंगे जो ये देख के ये समझ के शायद अगले साल खुद से साइंस प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे और उसके लिए वो मोटिवेट होंगे। तीसरा और इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट ऐसा है कि जो अलग अलग वैज्ञानिक संकल्पना है उसको हम लोग सोसाइटी में पेनिट्रेट कर पाएंगे, जिससे अपना भारत एक वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिकोण वाला भारत बन सके, और ये तब होगा जब बच्चों में ये वैज्ञानिक सोच हम पेनिट्रेट कर पाएंगे। और तीसरा और इम्पोर्टेंट चीज, ये जो प्रोजेक्ट देखेंगे और इसको इवेल्युएट करने के बाद कोई भी चीज को एक निरीक्षण के तौर पे देखना, उसको एनालाइज करना और उसके बाद उसका सही से रेटिंग करना, ये जो एक स्किल होता है ये डेवलप करने में भी ये पूरा सिस्टम बहुत ही कारगर साबित होगा और ये आपको बच्चों को या स्टूडेंट्स को ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट साबित होगा। इस तरीके से हम लोगों ने GMRT ने और IIK ने ये सोचा और ये हम लोग अभी आपके पास उसको रख रहे हैं। मैं इसको और एक आपका जो ये जो वीडियो है ये आप शेयर वीडियो है, इसको आप कहीं पे भी आपके जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप से आपके फेसबुक का पेज होगा उस पे भी आप शेयर कर सकते हैं। इसका एक लिंक क्रिएट होता है और वो लिंक पे टच करने के बाद वो ये ऐप पे आता है और आपको वो प्रोजेक्ट का पूरा जो भी उसका इंफॉर्मेशन है वो आप देख सकते हो। और इसलिए मैं पूरे आप स्टूडेंट्स को कहना चाहूंगा कि आप इसको आपके दोस्तों में, आपके जो क्लास के जो फ्रेंड्स है उनको आप शेयर करिए, जिससे ज्यादा से ज्यादा ये हम लोग साइंटिफिक जो सोच है उसको हम लोग समाज में बढ़ा पाए। जो 2-3 इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें मैं आपको उसके बारे में बोलना चाहूंगा। एक तो जो पार्टिसिपेंट स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनके सर्टिफिकेट अभी यहाँ पे एक आइकन है, डाउनलोड पार्टिसिपेंट सर्टिफिकेट, यहाँ पे डाउनलोड करना है। वहां पे आपका प्रोजेक्ट नंबर डालने के बाद जो अभी मैंने ये एक सैंपल करता हूँ प्रोजेक्ट, यहाँ पे उनकी लिस्ट आ जाती है और ये डाउनलोड सर्टिफिकेट पे क्लिक करने के बाद आपका डाउनलोड सर्टिफिकेट होगा, ये PDF में आप उसको डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। इस साल पिछले साल हम लोग बहुत से साइंस टीचर ने जो गाइड टीचर थे उन्होंने रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि हम लोग स्टूडेंट्स को गाइड करते तो क्या आप हमें अप्रिसिएशन सर्टिफिकेट दे सकते हैं क्या। तो ये भी एक अच्छी सोच थी जो GMRT और उन्होंने अपनाई है, और इस साल हम जो गाइड टीचर्स है उनको भी हम लोग यहाँ पे अप्रिसिएशन यानी सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ गाइडेंस देना चाहते हैं। तो मैं सभी टीचर से भी रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि आप इस सेक्शन में जाके प्रोजेक्ट नंबर डालिए और आप टीचर्स का जो गाइडिंग सर्टिफिकेट है वो आप यहाँ से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। ये एक चीज हो गई। अभी इसकी जो आगे एक चीज है इसका रिजल्ट। ओके, तो इसके बारे में भी हम लोगों ने एक अच्छा खासा एक इवोल्यूशन मेथड डेवलप किया हुआ है जो पूरे महाराष्ट्र से और GMRT के साइंटिस्ट ये दोनों के कॉम्बिनेशन से एक एक्सपर्ट इवोल्यूशन टीम बनाई गई है और ये अभी पूरे मार्च महीने में हम लोग इसको इवेल्युएट करेंगे। एक वीडियो 3 टीचर्स या 3 साइंटिस्ट उसको इवेल्युएट करते हैं और इवेल्युएशन के बाद उसका एवरेज निकाला जाता है और उसके बाद फिर एक ऑनलाइन मीटिंग होगी जिसके थ्रू हम लोग उसका लाइव उसका क्वेश्चन और आंसर के साथ उसको इवेल्युएट करेंगे और फिर रिजल्ट की प्रक्रिया को हम लोग आगे बढ़ाएंगे। तो ये पूरे मार्च महीने में हम लोग ये पूरा जो प्रोसेस है इवेल्युएशन का वो करेंगे और उसके बाद हम आप सभी को इसके बारे में जो भी एक्सपर्ट कमेटी के जो भी शॉर्ट लिस्टेड प्रोजेक्ट्स होंगे उसके बारे में हम लोग मार्च एंड तक हम आपको बोलेंगे और आप कृपया ये उस दिन का प्रतीक्षा कीजिए। और मैं मेरा इतना कहने के बाद मैं आप सभी से एक ही कहना चाहूंगा कि साइंस को बढ़ाने के लिए जो जीएमआरटी पिछले 20 साल से कर रहा है उसके पार्ट हम लोग भी बन पाए, इसका हमें गर्व है। गुप्ता सर, सोलंकी सर, ओबेराय सर और पूरी जीएमआरटी की जो टीम ये पूरा काम करते हैं, आईआईटी की टीम ये पूरा काम करते हैं। मैं उनको भी कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करना चाहूंगा इस अवसर पे। और जो बच्चे जिन्होंने इसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया उनको मैं आगे की इवोल्यूशन प्रोसेस के लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ और मैं यहाँ पे रुकना चाहूंगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Nilesh ji. Thank you very much, and it's a very important tool for all viewers कि ये एग्जीबिशन कैसे देखना है, बच्चों के प्रोजेक्ट कैसे देखने, जीएमआरटी के प्रोजेक्ट कैसे देखने, जीएमआरटी के पोस्टर्स कैसे देखने। इसके बाद में हमारे जो एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव स्टूडेंट्स है जो दिवेश जैन, मैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि कृपया वो अपने विचार रखें। दिवेश। Divesh?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, please, welcome, please.
Yeah. So, like, I joined NCRA in 2018, and the first time I witnessed the GMRT National Science Day when we used to have in-person gatherings, it was my first time to see thousands of students to turn up and share their enthusiasm with scientists and engineers. And students came in to share their enthusiasm, to participate in the exhibition, from top scientists and the engineers from a world-class facility like Giant Meter Radio Telescope and National Center for Radio Astrophysics. And I had never witnessed such a thing in life. GMRT National Science Day has a huge potential to impact lakhs of lives of students, motivating them to take up science and technology education in future. And as a member of NCRA, I would like to ensure that the quality and the quantity of content we deliver through this exhibition is always improved, and we touch many more lives of students either through online this year, and I hope we go hybrid in future so that we can even touch many more lives. Thank you.
Thank you. So Barun and Debajyoti, do you want to add something to this? Because उसके बाद में हमारे दो टीचर्स है, एक प्रांजलि कुलकर्णी मैडम और मोहम्मद मुलानी सर, उनका मैं थोड़ा सा मनोगत लेना चाहता हूं, लेकिन बरुण and Debajyoti. Barun?
Yeah, nothing extra to say, but just take a look at the website and take a feel of that, and let us know if you have any comments or any queries. We have also a section of Ask an Astronomer, so you can put your queries there too and enjoy the posters.
So Barun, maybe after you, can I request Debajyoti also to explain about this trivia quiz and other portions, how people can look at GMRT Science Day website. Debajyoti? Are you there? Or Barun? Then you can take, or Divesh, one of you can just take.
Yeah, the trivia quiz section is for the general audiences we have prepared. So it will have a set of questions with 4 options. So you just read the questions and choose the appropriate answer, and it will show the correct answer when you submit your answers. And with the correct answers, you will see some of the trivias or some of the links which will give much information about that particular topics. And you can play it many times if you want, and just check it. It will be amazing.
Thank you, Barun. Debajyoti, I see now with Divesh.
Yeah, so I just want to say that So in this time, for this time, we have put a lot of new posters and some exciting stuffs. So like to invite all the young students to come and visit the website. And as Varun said, that the quiz is one thing we have included this time. So there are lots of questions and also very interesting questions. And when the students go through that quiz, they will also get some more information about each of these questions. And there are several links and other additional materials we also provided. So they can visit there and learn more about that particular topic from those links. So I want to invite all the students to visit and enjoy the National Science Day. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So Divesh, Devyajyoti and Barun, I mean, this is actually a representing group, but all our students and faculties, मैं दर्शकों को बताना चाहता हूँ कि बहुत अच्छी मेहनत करिए इस बार साइंस डे में। बहुत सारे आपको नया नया GMRT साइंस डे के वेबसाइट में बहुत सारे नीचे जो आइकॉन्स है, बैनर से रनिंग, उसमें आपको बहुत कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा, देखने को मिलेगा, और इंटरेस्टिंगली क्विज है वो भी आप उसमें कर पाएंगे नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स। इसके बाद में मैं अपने जो 2 टीचर्स है, यहाँ पे 4-5 टीचर तो ऑलरेडी है, वाघमारे सर है, वालुंज मैडम है, प्रांजलि कुलकर्णी मैडम है, मोहम्मद मुलानी सर है। तो मुलानी सर, कैन आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू से फ्यू वर्ड्स? हिंदी में चलेगा सर? मुलानी सर, आपने तो ये प्रोग्राम लाइव किया है आपके स्कूल में, पंडरीनाथ विद्यालय पोखरी में, तो मुलानी सर। हाँ मुलानी सर, आवाज आ रही है? आप म्यूटेड है सर, अनम्यूट करिए।
हाँ सर, मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है?
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
हाँ सर, मैं बहुत खुश नसीब हूँ, आप GMRT से मैं जुड़ा हुआ हूँ, आपके हमें बहुत अच्छी प्रेरणा मिलती है। और अभी मैं स्कूल जाने के बाद अभी 10 मिनट में स्कूल पहुंचूंगा। आपका लाइव प्रोग्राम में बता रहा हूँ बच्चों को। और सही बोले बात में इसी बात है कि आप जो हमारे खेड़े बाड़े के कोने कोने में पहुंच रहे हैं और हमें हमारे बच्चों के लिए जो कुछ जानकारी दे रहे हैं और हमारे बच्चों में जो साइंस के बारे में उम्मीद पैदा कर रहे हैं, उन्हें एक अच्छे से बाल वैज्ञानिक की जो जरूरत है, उनके सोच की, उनके विचारों की, तो आपके सहायता से बहुत सही तरीके से हमारे बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं, साइंस जान रहे हैं, उसका इस्तेमाल हमारे दैनिक जीवन में, व्यवहारिक जीवन में वो कर रहे हैं। ये हमें बहुत प्रेरणादायी बात है। सच, हम इधर ट्रैवल सेक्शन में जब काम करते हैं तब हमें प्रेरणा की बहुत जरूरत होती है, और आपसे प्रेरणा लेके हम जब भी आपके वहां पर रूबरू जुड़े नहीं है, मगर तभी आपकी प्रेरणा से हमारे बच्चे, एक ट्राइबल सेक्शन के बच्चे जो है कि जिन्हें बहुत सी बातों की यहाँ पे कमतरता है मगर उसकी कमतरता महसूस नहीं होती, आपकी सहायता से हम बच्चों तक बहुत अच्छी बातें पहुंचा सकते हैं। इसलिए मैं आप सब GMRT के आयोजक लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ। धन्यवाद सर जी।
थैंक यू मुलानी सर, थैंक यू। प्रांजलि कुलकर्णी मैडम, कुलकर्णी मैडम।
मिनिट मी जरा सर मैं ऑडिबल?
येस येस येस।
हाँ, मी 1-2 मिनिटांनी बोलू का सर? जरा मी स्कूल मध्ये आहे, मी जरा बाजूला जाते म्हणजे आवाज येईल।
ओके, मग हा मग एक आपले तोपर्यंत एक दुसरे मॅडम, वाळुंज मॅडम आहेत, अंजली मॅडम, तुम्ही आहात का फ्री? कारण मला माहिती आहे सगळ्या शिक्षक लोकांचे स्कूल चालू आहे।
ओके सर, ओके ओके, 1-2च मिनिट सर, 2 मिनिट।
मी वाळुंज मॅडमला देतो तोपर्यंत।
ओके ओके सर, 1च मिनिट सर।
हाँ ठीक है। कारण आमच्या ह्या वेळेच्या इव्हॅल्युएशन मध्ये मोर दॅन 50% महिला शिक्षकांचं खूप मोठं योगदान आहे, आणि तुमचं प्रतिनिधित्व आज आमच्या या कार्यक्रमात असायला हवं, म्हणून कुलकर्णी मॅडम, वाळुंज मॅडम, तुम्ही बोलावं।
सर ऐकायला येते?
येते मॅडम, बोला।
सगळ्यांना सायन्स डेच्या सगळ्यांना खूप खूप हार्दिक हार्दिक अशा शुभेच्छा।
एक मिनिट, माइक ऑन है। हा, तुम्ही बोला मॅडम.
Yes, who is Mr. Ashok Ghodke? Please switch off your mic. Mr. Ghodke.
Hello. Can I speak, sir?
You, madam, you please speak. हाँ मैडम बोला ना.
पहली बात, आप सबको साइंस डे की बधाई हो. और सर मराठीत बोललं तर चालेल का?
बोला बोला मॅडम बोला.
ओके ओके
बोला बोला.
ओके. सगळ्यांना खूप खूप शुभेच्छा विज्ञान दिनाच्या. सरांनी मला या निमित्ताने बोलण्याची संधी दिली, खूप मनापासून त्यांचं धन्यवाद. गेल्या वर्षीपासून निलेश सरांच्यामुळं या इव्हॅल्युएशन ह्याच्यामध्ये खूप अनुभव मिळतो, वेगवेगळे प्रोजेक्ट बघायला मिळतात आणि थोरा मोठ्यांच्या ओळखी होतात म्हणण्यापेक्षा त्यांचे विचार ऐकून आपल्या स्वतःच्या ज्ञानामध्ये खूप सारी भर पडते, विद्यार्थ्यांपर्यंत ते ज्ञान पोहोचवता येतं. इतकं छान असं हा प्रोग्राम GMRT आणि यांनी एकत्रितपणे केलेला आहे. त्यामुळं मी खूप मनापासून सगळ्यांचं धन्यवाद देते की मला ह्या गोष्टीचा भाग बनवून घेतलेला आहे किंवा या इव्हॅल्युएशन पार्ट मध्ये मी एक मेंबर आहे, असं खूप अभिमान वाटतो. आणि सोळंकी सर आणि इतर सर्व म्हणजे अनेक ठिकाणचे, म्हणजे फक्त खेड, जुन्नर, आंबेगाव तालुकाच किंवा पुणे जिल्हाच न धरता बाकीच्या सगळ्या जिल्ह्यातले लोकांच्या ओळखी होतात आणि त्यांचेही विचार ऐकायला मिळतात आणि आपल्या स्वतःमध्ये त्याप्रमाणे बदल करायला मिळतो. ह्याचा मला खूप अभिमान आहे सर की मी या गोष्टीचा एक पार्ट आहे. GMRTचा इव्हॅल्युएशन मध्ये दरवर्षी या दिवसाची खूप आतुरतेने आम्ही वाट बघत असतो आणि तिथे यायची पण संधी सर तुमच्यामुळं अगदी पूर्ण सगळं बघायला मिळालं. हा पण मला खूप त्याचा म्हणजे गर्व आहे माझा, मला सुद्धा की मी त्या तिथपर्यंत व्यवस्थितपणे मला ते सगळं बघता आलं. पुनश्च एकदा सगळ्यांचं मनापासून धन्यवाद. आणि या जे आता नवीन जे प्रोग्राम जे प्रोजेक्ट वगैरे सगळे इथं पार्टिसिपेंट जे आहेत त्यांना सुद्धा खूप खूप शुभेच्छा या गोष्टी निमित्त. जरी नाही तुमचा प्रोजेक्ट या ठिकाणी सिलेक्ट झाला तरी परंतु तुम्ही या मोठ्या एवढ्या स्कीम मध्ये इन्व्हॉल्व झालात, हे सुद्धा फार खूप मोठं आहे असं म्हणायला काय हरकत नाही. पुनश्च एकदा सगळ्यांना धन्यवाद देऊन सर मी माझं मनोगत या ठिकाणी संपवते. धन्यवाद.
चिखले मॅडम खूप खूप धन्यवाद. मला माहितीये की शिक्षक लोकांची आमच्या बरोबरची खूप मोठी भूमिका जे GMRT विज्ञान प्रदर्शनात असते. अंजली कुलकर्णी मॅडम आहात तुम्ही आता?
वाघमारे सर पण एक 2 मिनिट
आपण देऊया त्यांना एक मिनिट. कुलकर्णी मॅडम प्लीज.
Yes. Good morning to all team. I am not in place to on virtually I joined, but I would like to share my experience. It was indeed an amazing experience. The overall management of the program was very nice and really I enjoyed it. तर सर मी आता थोडंसं मराठीतून पण बोलेल की मागच्या वर्षी GMRTनी ज्या पद्धतीनं ऑनलाईन एक्झिबिशन घेतलं तर खरंच आम्ही खूप खूप त्याबद्दल तुमच्या सगळ्या टीमचं मनापासून धन्यवाद मानतो. आणि खूप म्हणजे फक्त आपण महाराष्ट्रातल्या कानाकोपऱ्यातल्या सगळ्या म्हणजे सगळ्या मुलांना तुम्ही याच्यामध्ये सामील करून घेतलं आणि खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीनं त्याचं इव्हॅल्युएशन केलं आणि मॅनेजमेंट केलं आणि ऍप्रिसिएशन सुद्धा, म्हणजे ज्या पद्धतीनं तुम्ही व्हर्च्युअल प्रोग्राम केला तो खरंच खूप खूप म्हणजे त्याचं वर्णन शब्दामध्ये आपण करू शकणार नाही. इतक्या छान पद्धतीने तुम्ही मॅनेजमेंट केलं आणि त्याचा एक भाग आम्हाला व्हायला मिळालं आणि याही वर्षी तुम्ही आम्हाला याच्यामध्ये सहभागी करून घेतलं. त्याबद्दल मी सोळंकी सर, निखिल सर आणि त्यांच्या सगळे टीमचे मनापासून धन्यवाद मानते. आणि अशाच पद्धतीनं तुम्ही सतत प्रोग्राम करत राहा. आणि सर मला असं वाटतंय की यावर्षी कोरोना संपलेला असेल तर नक्कीच आपण सगळ्यांचं जे काही प्राइज डिस्ट्रीब्युशन असेल ते खोडदला करूयात अशी मी सरांना एक विनंती करते. त्या निमित्ताने आम्हाला तुम्हाला पर्सनली तिथे सगळं बघायला मिळू शकेल. धन्यवाद.
मॅडम 100% तुमची इच्छा आहे आणि आपण या वर्षीचा बक्षीस वितरण समारंभ तुमच्या सगळ्या शिक्षकांच्या सानिध्यात GMRT ला करण्याचा नक्कीच प्रयत्न करू. यानंतर एक शेवटची छोटीशी प्रतिक्रिया वाघमारे सर आणि त्यानंतर मग आभार प्रदर्शनाचा कार्यक्रम होईल. वाघमारे सर.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
माझा आवाज येतोय सर?
येतोय सर.
Good morning, all of you, and have a very happy Science Day to all of you. My name is Basab Shuram Wagmare. I am a science and math teacher in Shivajirao Adalrao Patil Vidyalaya, Landewadi, Taluka Ambegao district, Pune. In last year, our school take part in virtual science exhibition organized by GMRT. Our school near about 40 students take part in that science exhibition. Out of them, 3 students are reached to final round. Later on, GMRT conducted a Garza Maharashtra exhibition. There is a huge response from our students. Because of that participation, our school gets smart school from GMRT. So that very thankful. So all of you and Nilesh sir, you are the good person and you take all solve all problems from our school. So thanks all of you. Thank you sir.
Thank you. So very nice वाघमारे सर. मुझे पता है कि आप अंबेगांव के अंदर भी बहुत सारे GMRT के प्रति आप रुचि रखते हैं, आपके बच्चों को लेके आते हैं और सब कुछ है. सब सारे टीचर्स करते हैं. मैं सभी का नाम नहीं लेता हूं, लेकिन सब टीचर्स को मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं. और इसके आगे का जो हमारा छोटा सा लास्ट का जो स्पीच प्रोग्राम है आभार प्रदर्शन, मैं उसके लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं मेरे सहयोगी अभिजीत जोंदड़े GMRT.
Am I audible?
Yes sir.
Yeah. So good morning all. An ignited mind is the most powerful weapon on the earth, above the earth and under the earth. And this is got through science education. Science education is the most profitable investment for the near future. Therefore, we organize Science Day every year. Chief guest of today's program, Sri Surendra Kulkarni, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai. Professor Yashwant Gupta, Center Director, NCRA GMRT. Professor Divya Oberoi, GMRT Scientist. GMRT Engineers, Science Day 2022 committee members, staff members, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling thankfulness and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Therefore, it's my pleasure and privilege to extend vote of thanks to all who have contributed in a way or either to make this program a success. We express our sincere thanks to Sri Surendra Kulkarni, who had kindly agreed to be the chief guest of today's program. Once again, thank you. We would express our sincere thanks to Professor Yashwant Gupta for his guidance today. We thank Professor Divya Oberoi for presenting science outreach at GMRT NCRA. We thank Dr. Solanki for introducing and briefing about the GMRT Science Day. We thank Mr. Chadavelkar, Growing Dots, for developing such a beautiful mobile application for us and the students. It would have been impossible to organize it without their support. Thank you. We thank all the press and media who have published this event broadly to reach each and every corner of the country. We thank all the evaluators and teachers going to do the evaluation of the project submitted. Last but not the least, the students who are sun for us, which rests at the center and radiates encouragement for us. Therefore, we thank the students for their tremendous response to GMRT Virtual Science Day. If time is money, then today you have spent millions for us. Thanks to all for you for making this event successful. It is unfortunate that I cannot thank everyone by name. We have tried out our best for smooth conduct of the event. However, if there is any shortfall or inconvenience, kindly excuse us for the same. Thank you everyone being part of this event. Happy National Science Day 2022 to all. और इस सुवर्ण अवसर पर मैं 4 पंक्तियां भी सादर करना चाहूंगा. विज्ञान का चमत्कार कुछ इस प्रकार हो रहा है, ना सोचा हुआ काम भी हो रहा है, कुछ भी नहीं है असंभव, ये हमें विज्ञान बतला रहा है. With this, I declare the closure of this function. Thank you once again.
Abhijit,
yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this. And I request the YouTube viewers that our website will be on, our exhibition is on. So please share this information with your friends. those who joined today, those who could not join today in your school. I request all the teachers also pass on this information to various groups, because this exhibition is not ending today. It is began today, and it will be there for next couple of weeks, or maybe up to like March, where we still complete our evaluation process. जैसा मैंने पहले भी बताया कि आज के आज ही दोपहर के बाद में जो स्टूडेंट्स ने पार्टिसिपेट किया और जो टीचर्स जिन्होंने उनको गाइड किया, उनके सारे सर्टिफिकेट्स डिजिटल फॉर्मेट में आज ऐप द्वारा आपको मिल जाएंगे, जो लास्ट टाइम थोड़े सा लेट हुआ था, लेकिन इस बार हमने सोचा है कि वो आपको मिल जाएंगे। इवैल्यूएशन के बाद में हम इस बार हम लोग सोच रहे हैं, मैं हमारे जो अथॉरिटीज है, सेंटर डायरेक्टर है, आउटरीच कमेटी चेयर है, और सारे लोगों से बात करके इसकी भी एक डेट डिसाइड करके हम लोग एक प्रोग्राम ले सकते हैं GMRT में। जो कुलकर्णी मैडम है, मालूम मैडम है, वाघमारे सर, सबकी इच्छा थी लास्ट ईयर से, वो करेंगे। और मैं इसके साथ में विद द परमिशन ऑफ सेंटर डायरेक्टर, I declare this meeting is closed, but the science day begins. Is that okay, sir?
Yes, yeah, that's very good. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you, everybody. And NCRA staff and GMRT staff member, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Namaskar. Yes. Namaskar.
Bye. Namaskar.
Namaskar.